Oh, lonesome. I'm up. I'm here. All right, so what me I do now? We have a lot of things to talk about, but more to talk about now. Every few days, I start one thing where I remind the Prime Minister and all the promises and certain things that run the country and them things there, And when the country run back, we have to remind them, You have to play and remind them. Remember my saying, what the Prime Minister saying. You understand? So me have to remind them. You understand? Yeah, I have to remind them. And next thing me say, me see the ambulance them from the other day for the soldier, JDF. And me see them have them photo acting and them go keep ceremony, for the JDF. Me see that too. And I wonder if you can spend the money and buy all these things for the JDF. JDF, I'm not talking about the JCF because I know say, and I go fight an next country and them thing there. And you buy them comfortable ambulances for the JDF and other things, Bushmasters and other things. See? Armored vehicle, armored ambulances. How much it can run. I can play that too, because it cannot show me off because, we really want something for start for Jamaican people. We're not stopping, I hold them accountable. Bless up. Bless up yourself, man. Bless up, yeah, man. London boy, big up yourself. Brown, big up yourself. Ingrid, big up yourself. Boo, big up yourself, Yeah, man. Roger, big up yourself. Zane, yeah, man. Sweet, big up yourself. Johnson, big up yourself. Zane, big up yourself. Yeah, man. So, me just run class. Yeah, man. You see me, I say? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Just bless up, everyone. See? So here this now, what for use them thing, I remind the Prime Minister, from my opposition, and you give her one thing, we hold it to account. You have to just hold them to account, I remember this, we don't have nothing in my bottle there, nothing at all. Because, if me come and say something, but me I act, and I do something different, before hold it to account. You see me, I say? So let me just play this first. I want to play first, Just a reminder, because I'm going to that thing about this one play first. And by the way, I have enough more things to talk about in a St. Thomas, I'm going to big up some people down the later, up in a St. Thomas later. And youth, up in a seafood, let's stop yourself. So much fun going already, man. It was friendly, man. When I make politician and going now on the head. I want to do some things that, it's not hard for just realize what I'm doing, man. Say, all right, let me just play this. Just a reminder. Watch this.
Bring to the public the political understanding.
What for that?
You use all the forms of communication. And it's my job. My job is to bring to the public the political understanding of issues.
That's my job right now, right? Right? So I have to bring the political understanding and issues of Jamaica to Jamaicans. So same like you say your job, it applies when you're a Prime Minister. Because you want the job to do better,
I get a sense from Jamaicans that they like that there are some Jamaicans who want to make excuses for government failure.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to play about this again. You have some Jamaicans still want to make excuses for government failure. It no work. No party thing around here. That's why I like listen to Andrew, Out of the asses mouth himself. So I like play about these things. So let me just play this again. For anybody them love party, not the country, them love party and the business all them a suffer. Yeah? Them want to make excuses for government failure. Now work for me. Andrew himself tell me that. Self for world government accountable, yeah? So we don't care who in our government, hold them accountable. And that we are following. Yeah, man. Yeah,
there are some Jamaicans who want to make excuses for government failure. This is an ultimate failure of the government.
Good.
It's a political issue. Make no mistake about it.
Yes, sir.
From our perspective, the law gives the minister a duty to supervise, oversee, and regulate the petroleum industry. There is a...
So, even minister now, to supervise, oversee, and regulate. But you still have much money missing from all these agencies and all these ministries. And who are supervised? Who get fired? Nobody. Them man, them not them position same way, them just move them around. Them never out a ministerial job yet. Them never in a short pants yet. You see it? Eh? All right. But me I hold them by them word, you know, by word.
Failure in that. So I'm not apologizing to anyone who thinks that in doing my job I'm politicizing. Of course, it is a political matter. And, you know, one must also make the point. As it was in healthcare, we too face certain crises.
Healthcare, you know. All right.
We too face threats. But the Jamaica Labour Party political administration of the government did not have the results as the PNP had with Chick V and other threats and dead babies. Why is it that these things happen?
Yeah, other threat, Chick V's and dead babies and things. Now, how much people dead in the Chick V and the dead baby and all of them things? They're like 2,000 odd. We're going to know this pandemic thing, yeah? And because of careless election we run and all kind of things, I'm opening up borders for who want to follow certain guidelines. Lock it down first, but for please the tourist industry and please them big friend. A 2,000 odd in the last count, you know, 2,000 odd. So much Jamaica never did after 1 year after no violence and them thing. They never yet. See? Someone know how much people dead and they for turn my back on that and say, oh, it's a pandemic. We don't want to hear that. You know you manage your country, don't. All right.
Under the PNP administration and not under the Jamaica Labour Party administration.
All right.
That's a different political administration. We have two different political views on how things should be managed.
Oh. So this are your political view or you manage things now? This? When all right, you know things are managed now? Everything. From health security go right back. No job creation, nothing at all. You all right with it? You hear? Yeah, man. So me I hold them accountable, yeah? And who want vote for Andrew or who not vote or whatever? Who want vote and say them love a party? Remember, love your country first. Any man from them I do bad and you put up with them, that mean you're part of them too, you know. When I read the whole system. Yeah, man.
Things that makes a difference.
Yes.
When you clean the drains.
So I'm not going to make any apology or give any succor to those people who would want to see the Labour Party keep quiet on important issues, political though they may be, but they do impact upon the quality of life that people live.
Quality of
I
life.
make no apologies for that.
Quality of life. Give me the next one.
Is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence.
Whoa. Let me rewind that. A minister of public lost total confidence. Yeah, man. I'm going to play it again.
We don't feel comfortable sitting in Parliament with a minister of government and that minister shows no sign of wanting to resign, or the Prime Minister showing no signs of moving to dismiss. It is.
Yeah. So minister, so like the one well in my back seat, but you have some minister like that, same one I know a minister. Him not get him, I'm a target him get promotion. My national security minister, my deputy prime minister too. Yeah, man, Mr. Crab. Yeah, man. And Mr. Crab, by the way, me say you have some police talk say we ain't loan some them must listen to me. I mean, say Google me, say you know what the thing I say, no police must listen to me. You can't tell the big man them no listen and watch and them thing there. And it come from inside, man. I don't know how to do it, because I don't want to keep the meeting. So I feel like if we talk about it now, you know. You understand? The man them now, you know. You understand? You can't go tell the big man them no do this and that. Them do them job, but we know no foolishness. You see me I say? Yeah, man. See? Remember why you where I say so.
A dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence.
Which part you see that? You see one minister, you see many ministers where the Prime Minister fail to act. You see the man talk some things and like him talk about himself and we don't realize it. We don't realize it. Yeah, man, I mean, I know, you know, some got play back all these things. These are what the media house is supposed to do in Jamaica. Hold them accountable. To him one words. You understand? So you what I'm saying? This
is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence, and in which the institutions of the society are all agree that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government.
Yeah, man. See, yeah, okay. Okay. All right, so let me hear something, you know, because him said that, when I just played this before, I see which one of them now. I want to play the next one. I see which one. I soon go to that. Soon go to that one. I see that one, yeah. One this, I play that one there. Which one this? All right, I'm play that one, yeah. Because they say a minister, all right. I'm play that market me one, yeah. I want to play this.
Question from journalists, series of viral media this week about deeply personal allegations involving the health minister.
You were saying a while ago, Minister Tufton, that you really, appreciate the work that Market Me does and did. I think the question that Edmund wanted to ask was maybe not answered thoroughly. So I would just want to ask it more directly. Did you cheat on your wife with any of the princes?
Oh my God.
Minister. Hold on, no, let me answer. Let me respond. First of all, that's none of your business. And I would prefer you stick to questions around.
And that's so disrespectful. So you'd have to fire him because see like the one we have like a Westminster model. And if he's a road model, people have to come up and you're the health minister. And we know germs can go on and all kind of things. You have a wife and you want to certain things. That's when you live a private life, man. Bring it there, say you're a minister and I say none of your business. Can you imagine? You have a minister, a reporter asks him these things and say none of your business. I mean, thing that they say, he never have no sexual intercourse with the woman. The most powerful man in the world. And him nearly get impeached. That Bill Clinton. None of your business. It have to be your business. You have to know what I do. Are you health minister, See? And remember, with $85 million, Market Me get $85 million. So I know where the Market Me get $85 million for. And I know it no right up. Me just play the Prime Minister. When he was in opposition, when they were in opposition, telling the country, if you hold them and the Prime Minister to move these people when they do certain things. And you see it? $85 million. You understand? Me don't know if what kind of hook hole him, but $85 million that are taxpayers' money. And them say good money because what am I promote Market Me for? Market Me. I promote healthy eating. When majority of Jamaican have no food in the first place, eat to backside. Eh? What a scam. See? Yeah, man. Yeah, the man say. Yeah.
On the operations of the ministry. And just as I leave you to your private life, I'd like you to allow me mine. Thank you very much.
And a private life, that a public life you live. You're the health minister. Who's health minister over there, so now, feel up film woman. Feel up film woman. The one over in a UK, you know, say they have to fire him. When you Hancock, they just put a bulb up there and catch him. And they say nobody must see this and that way. Look, them say, Messiah for your wife, but if you expose him, the man say, I don't know your business. I don't know our business this. Private life.
In the meantime, vile, filthy and scandalous. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton is dismissing innuendos circulating on social media as mere attempts to tarnish his good name. Dr. Tufton says his attorneys are exploring all legal options to...
They say they explore anybody any good name? What kind of good name? Politician tell about good name. You see? But this is what happened. I'm going to tell about him and put... You see anything come out of that? You're not nice about it. I just feel them kind of weird, man. See? That's why I have to play a thing like this now. Because, the Prime Minister says something, I have to play something like this. Wait there. I say I can't find it. Wait there. Right, this?
Income was 500. A government minister was invited by businessmen to go
So may I play, yeah?
back long time. That if you want to, in a sense, eliminate corruption in a society, and we all want to eliminate corruption in a society, the most effective way to do it is to make sure you don't punish people at the bottom, you punish people at the top. I'll tell you one story. In the 1960s, when Singapore was a very poor country then, per capita income was 500, a government minister was invited by businessmen to go on holiday. Just on holiday, no bride. He and his family went on holiday with the businessmen. He came back, he was arrested, charged, went to jail. After that, no more corruption. Because it's very powerful signal that is sent when you go after someone at the top. So Singapore's experience, and it's actually quite remarkable how you have almost zero corruption in Singapore, is because we decided that the example must come from the top.
You see me I talk about them, I talk about. So when and me not have no mercy upon the Prime Minister. Why? Because him say the right things. And we're with him when he say these things 100%. See? You old people that's account and you do this and no disregard to public this and that and the old ministers but when you farm the government, no, you do the opposite. So if you hold your foot to the fire, you have to hold it to account. You understand? I have to play them thing and remind you. So you can't play a 3-card trick pan we, Yeah, man, we say, man. You see me, I say, them can't play 3-card trick pan we, because we not work hard for that, Show you something. Let me play that one here first.
Mr. Holness reaffirmed his commitment to tackling crime.
Yeah, that one here.
Don't worry. Off-key and high-pitched, singing not one of the high points of the Prime Minister. That aside, the bigger picture, a message of hope, was evident throughout his presentation today at the JLP's 78th Annual Conference at the National Indoor Centre. Worrying issues of crime, states of emergency, police salary, all addressed. A day after the expiration of the states of emergency in 7 police divisions, Mr. Holness addressed the opposition's decision not to support the extension.
Just look at the place. You see, we don't just listen things, we look at everything, Look at the condition of the place so the soldiers them stand up. Look here.
As he addressed most of the issues,
look at this.
Don't worry. Off-key and high-pitched, singing not one of the high points of the Prime Minister. That aside, the bigger picture, a message of hope, was evident throughout his presentation today at the JLP's 78th Annual Conference at the National Indoor Centre. Worrying issues of crime,
you see the place? Just look at the background of the place. Look.
States of emergency, police salary, all addressed.
Look at the place. You see the place? Just look at the background of the place. Infrastructure, man. Just look at it. Yeah, I think somewhere in the 80 or some of this, don't it? We have a create job employment and them things. Well, them are come with some little money with them just a push for job creation for fiscally 2022-23. So them put around 5 billion now. Come me just see it. Yeah, them say them do some, infrastructure repair up and and deal with. But that's a little bit of money for dropping all the infrastructure stay. See me I say, place don't look good. And at this, you rather spend a bag of money instead of uplift people's life, This causes a problem, man.
A day after the expiration of the states of emergency in 7 police divisions, Mr. Holness addressed the opposition's decision not to support the extension.
I don't know of any other free and democratic society that has the murder rate that we have.
Yeah, but creating employment, sir.
It is unusual.
It's unusual.
It is.
No, but you say you have the problem feed. So it's unusual, and you say if you vote in a party, people are dead, and a dead baby talk to you, say, why me never give the party your party because you're going to win. Yeah, the baby say, should I be alive? You talk to the spirit still. Him say it, not me, not my word, theme word. That's why I play, I have so much of them to juggle around, See? Yeah, man. Me use the Singapore mad upon them, so I show them themselves, I remind them of themselves. You understand? And what them say and what them do. Him say it unusual. But the man say from him win, him know to clean up the place. He might make a steep with the window and door open. The window can't steep with the window open. Now try it. Don't try it. I worries. See, he must say it unusual. Listen.
Emergency. I'm sorry that the opposition does not see it that way.
He also defended his administration's crime response.
And that is why you are seeing gangs being brought before the courts.
Gangs?
So you hear them say, you need more intelligence and you need to do more investigation. Duh.
Yeah, there. And them a laugh, duh. Yeah, there.
When have you ever seen so many gangs being brought before our courts to fix?
How much gang the front of the court, sir? I be a crap the man talk, you know. Because them did have a little gang now Westmoreland. How much gang? And like here 100 gang, they mention like 400 gang. How much of them brought front of the court? Matter about eh? How much of them? You have 100 of them brought front of the court, the gang them. You brought a gang like 30 man and 50 man at a time and brought them front of the court. You see that? A man has that crap.
Yes, justice.
Yeah, there.
You think we just pull them out?
Yeah, there.
He disclosed the administration is now working with a French technology company to assist with crime-fighting efforts.
Some time ago, I explained to the nation that I can't say too much. People talking about the crime plan and which crime plan. That's the easy retort whenever, I've seen people ask, so what would you do? And they bounce around and skirt around the issues because they really don't know. They don't have a clue.
You don't have no clue.
But the youth.
Look what people there, you have clue, sir. You say they have no clue, they have more clue than you, sir. Come here, tell you this. We can't tell them we can't move down the whole of this. And you them let me tell you, soft talk turn it away anger, you know.
Usual retort is, where's the crime plan? There's no crime plan.
You don't have none.
Rubbish.
Yeah, there.
No other government in Jamaica has spent the budget on
people. If you spend money, you spend a budget. No, that they might tell you how much money they must spend. I never know if them spend that. Them say crime plan, them say rubbish. And you're rubbish now. No other government in Jamaica never spend the amount of money that you see what them do with the money. I spend it and I buy more weapon and them thing they kill off with son and with daughter, them and kill with people them, eh? Yeah. Like we live in the Middle East. But him still have a crime plan. He never a crime plan now.
National security that this government has done. None.
Yeah, none.
He promised new, tougher firearm legislation in 2022.
Were it up to me, I am not a believer in the death penalty.
Yeah.
But for this, I would make an exception. Anyone found with a gun should start with the death penalty.
Anyone found with a gun, anyone found with a gun, he used the word broad brush. Anyone found with a gun. None of them have license gun to it. Them have gun, you know. Anyone found with a gun, start with the death penalty. You must say with illegal gun neither, you know. You're the Prime Minister. You have your gun. And him say if you found with that gun, if you start with the death penalty. Foolishness. Yeah, and they will say, oh, I'm not talking illegal gun. Make it clear. Talk clear, make we understand. Anyone found with a gun? Anything where you said that will go by, yeah? All right, good. Go on.
The hyperbolic expression.
Hyperbolic expression. Yeah, there.
What I'm saying is there needs to be stiffer penalties for those people.
You never have to talk, you just do some action. Get the Prime Minister. What I'm saying is there needs to be stiffer penalty. Yeah? You hear this?
Against the background of news that a recent quadruple murder in Clarendon was in part ordered by an inmate serving a 42-year sentence, Mr. Holness also said a budget will be set aside next year for a high-security prison.
High security will be that telecommunications will not escape.
High security. What wonder we know about it again?
It's a high security in the sense that it will be high-tech in its ability to prevent external communications.
He conceded that more needs to be done for the JCF, where rank-and-file members have taken the government to court for outstanding overtime monies.
There is great.
So if you spend the most money You know, the security, oh, you not pay the people them, but you have to spend it and buy the vehicle and buy up everything and do all kind of little things. Make sense to no people? Can't make no sense. That's why I say I have a problem with the kind of all this one, because the people them forget them pay. Them need to forget them pay. But yes, still send billions, but look how much of them out there are demonstrate and want them money.
Sympathy. I will leave the ministers to carry out their duties in this regard. But we agree that we need to spend more on the JCF.
And like he did in the run-up to
just them spend the most money, you know. I know we need to spend more on the JCF. Pay the people them. Them will pay them money.
the 2016 general election amidst shocking murder levels, another crime commitment.
We will make Jamaica a safe place to live.
And them a cap again. Cap again. All right, so we don't have no ambulances and them thing there, because you know you have some little private people rent a little van where them push a little bed. Let me tell you this. If you're in an accident, you want paramedics and them thing there, yeah? So you reach a hospital, they must stabilize you. You're in an accident, a man just draw you out by hand and foot and put it on something and put it on the ground. I take you by your hand and foot. Them they do you more harm than good. Police do it because police van are used as ambulances, you know? You understand? And it's bad. It's really bad. And these are the things people talk about, you know, say, yo, this can't happen no more. Look what the man do. Look on this. Look on this.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the Prime Minister and Minister of Defense, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness.
The most dishonorable Andrew Holness. Dishonorable. You can't say most honorable. Anna, rebel? Oh, and a rebel. Andrew Holness, and also a rebel. Okay, you understand. Okay. Yeah, man.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may be seated.
You see for them thing? Remember, you know, them a do this. You go buy some more Bushmaster and three of them must say ambulances. And more hear what the Prime Minister says about this. But we, the citizen of the country, now have proper ambulances and them things. They don't have proper equipment in the hospital. Market me get 85 million, more around much billion spent on the Western Hospital and nothing to do. I better we lick it down and build a new hospital. See? You understand? The money that we waste it gone. I will still maybe have to build a new one again. See? The money that leak out of the place. Wagwan, any country we can provide proper health system, education system is a few country, man. It's a few country. When you're sick, just pray. Yeah?
Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister and Minister of Defense. Rear Admiral Antoinette Weems Gorman, Chief of Defense Staff of the JDF. Mr. Ron Vanderdorn, Program Manager, International Support, Vehicles and Tactical Systems, Protected Vehicles. Other distinguished guests, members of the General Staff Board, commanding officers, other members of the Jamaica Defense Force. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you all and welcome. Welcome to the home of the Protected Mobility Vehicle Squadron here in Upper Camp, but more specifically, welcome to the commissioning ceremony for the 6 additional Bushmaster Protected Mobility Vehicles. However, before we get into the proceedings,
protective them vehicle, 6 of them, and look on the big ceremony. You just buy 6 vehicles, but go look on the vehicle them with them buy. 3 of them out of that ambulance, you know. Yeah, you them say about it.
Me get a quick housekeeping brief out of the way. The building to your left houses the main offices of the Protected Mobility Vehicle Squadron.
By the way, people, them buy them thing, you know. People don't have food to eat, you know. Remember, them are used against one people. I don't know which country, them are talking about 2030. First world country, I don't know which country. Unless there's some country, some, you know, some old Backabush country use them armed forces against someone civilian here. Yeah.
Building houses or bathroom facilities for this commissioning ceremony. You may access the building via the main entrance door at the front of the building and the bathroom facilities are located to your right and are clearly marked. Since the 1970s, the Jamaica Defense Force has maintained an armored personnel carrying capability with our previous fleet of V-150 armored cars. However, after almost 40 years of use and the need to acquire new, more modern APCs, a contract was signed in 2013 to acquire the Bushmaster Protected Mobility Vehicle.
The ambulance them tree there.
This particular compound was previously the home of the Light Air Detachment, LAD, which was responsible for the servicing and repairs of the previous fleet of V-150 APCs. And so it is aptly fitting.
So even if 80 attack, we will go with them because 6 weeks. But what's around 14 of them now or something? We will go with them here. Eh? Where them here go? And them here you use against our people. That makes sense? Eh? I listen to them.
That in 2016 it became the home of the Protected Mobility Vehicle Squadron, and today the venue for the commissioning ceremony for these new Bushmaster Protected Mobility Vehicles. Against that background, ladies and gentlemen, I will now invite the Brigade Commander of the Jamaica Regiment, Colonel M.G. Price, to give the welcome. Sir.
We don't know what they say now.
Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister and Minister of Defense, Rear Admiral Antoinette Weems Gorman, Chief of Defense Staff of the Jamaica Defense Force, Mr. Ron Vanderdorn, Program Manager, International Support Vehicle and Tactical Systems Protected Vehicles from Thales, Australia, members of the General Staff Board, including the Acting Force Sergeant Major 001 G. Baker, commanding officers, other officers, brigade sergeant majors, other members of the Jamaica Defense Force, members of the media, good afternoon. As you heard, I'm Colonel Murphy Price, Brigade Commander for the Jamaica Regiment. And it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the Protected Mobility Vehicle Squadron headquarters here in Lathbury Barracks, Up Park Camp. And specifically, welcome to this ceremony. This afternoon is very significant for the Jamaica Regiment and by extension the Jamaica Defense Force. Because today we will witness the commissioning into service of 6 additional Bushmaster Protected Mobility Vehicles, BPMVs, 3 additional troop variants, and for the first time, 3 ambulance variants.
3 ambulance variants. And why you went at the ambulance variants? 3, let me just play about that. So 3 of them are ambulance. But we, the wider public, not have these things, eh?
Protected Mobility Vehicle Squadron headquarters here in Lathbury Barracks, Up Park Camp. And specifically, welcome to this ceremony. This afternoon is very significant for the Jamaica Regiment and by extension the Jamaica Defense Force, because today we will witness the commissioning into service of 6 additional Bushmaster Protected Mobility Vehicles, BPMVs, 3 additional troop variants, and for the first time, 3 ambulance variants.
So the 3 ambulance gonna be 3 normal ambulances and that have to be armored for the soldiers them like them on the back of front. The soldiers, I know, armored, not more money. The money will buy them 3 there. Could have buy X amount of ambulances and then you make the population, the hospital, them get something that they can use in the public, eh? You understand? But them have 3 armored ambulances for the soldiers them. Here where it can hold.
That can be seen immediately behind me. These 6 new vehicles, once commissioned into service, will take the number of vehicles in our BPMV fleet to 18.
18, not 14.
I remember. In early 2020, when we initiated the procurement, the country and the world faced the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic.
See them there? You see them? With the Red Cross pan them? You saw them get them? Remember in a war, like you go up on battlefield and you can withdraw soldier now, you know. Look at them ambulances here. Well fully armored. For what? Yeah? All right.
International logistics were disrupted. It affected supplies, manufacturing, and production. This meant that several of our purveyors were invoking force majeure clauses in their contracts. We, in the JDF, were uncertain that we would be able to get these assets in any reasonable time.
Assets, reasonable time, you know. Assets. And the other thing that you was going to your son, them, mostly your son, them and them thing there, you know. Jamaican citizen. And he asset like they go to war with some people overseas or something, you know.
Fortunately, through close collaboration with our partners at Thales Australia, we were able to have these vehicles delivered in what we consider to be record time, given the realities of COVID-19. They could not have come any sooner. The Jamaica Regiment will use these additional vehicles to bolster our ability to perform our important role of conducting land-based security operations island-wide.
Land-based security operation island-wide. Right now, it was doing in Ukraine. Land-based, and the whole of that thing, the island-wide. You understand? In them place. So the Jamaica, use the soldier, use them kind of thing, do I understand it. You understand it, man. Yeah, man.
For the nation. Our use of these assets will help to reaffirm that we are indeed Jamaica's defense force.
So una defense gets una reassure una Jamaica defense force and Jamaica not gonna use it against. For that city, man. Jamaica defense force need to go shut down too. Turn it not some police thing or something, man.
Once again, sirs, ma'am, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the commissioning ceremony. At this time, I invite Rear Admiral Weems Gorman, our Chief of Defense Staff, to give some opening remarks.
Most remarks, of course.
The Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister, Mr. Ron van der Doorn, Program Manager, International Support Vehicles and Tactical Systems Protected Vehicles, Thales Australia, members of the General Staff Board, other members of the Jamaica Defence Force, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us as we commission into service 6 additional protected mobility vehicles, PMVs. The addition of these 6 PMVs to the JDF fleet will see us having a total of 15 troop carrier variants and critically 3 ambulance variants.
Yeah, 3 ambulance.
Armored troop carriers have been a part of the JDF's arsenal since the mid-1970s. In an effort to modernize our fleet, in 2013, we commenced the transition from the Cadillac Gauge Commander V150 armored personal carrier to our present fleet of Thales Bushmaster protected mobility vehicles.
Bushmaster protected mobility.
The acquisition of the additional PMVs was a natural step given the force's now island-wide disposition.
Yeah.
They will provide us with the increased capability to deploy PMV units within the respective geographical commands to enhance the effectiveness of the troops on the ground.
It's like you fight for people. You know, you put out the people them over your ear, what them having them intention, or if you have soldier fight for people, them in a business. But you advanced troops on ground. Eh? If you kept look at you them from your early age, them as sponges. You know, nothing soldiers. And if you start, you know, you start break down this and you know, say every youth have to go to school. Like in America, like in Canada, in the UK, like in Europe, parents in trouble. You have principal lock out picking out of school. Can you reach 5 minutes late? Them just tell some security guard lock you out. So little girl, them can't go where go straight. Because them can't go back home, you know. I make them people know them are the youth, them go straight, go smoke, and then get mixed up or go and see. And some of them go drown and all kind of little things. Jamaica can't run so. When kids will go to school, them to go to school, you have to make sure them in a school. Them not supposed to let no school gate on them. Other places, father and mother to go to prison. You see me I say? You can't ramp with your kids them kind of way. They don't care what you do. You can't brutalize the kids, them are like sponges. You understand? Them are the future for the country. But then people are buy up the whole of these things you go do, you know, it's a kill them or kill off the little youth them. Yes, still the youth them there now. You have police. We're in a drugs and I sell gun and do everything and I mix up the youth them, then them use them and kill them out 1-1. 1-1. You have politician. I have some big boy with their money. And you have some youth now who boss from the ghetto. And two them get to go foreign now, them start, them giant and help earth where them come from. Let me tell you this. You can't ban and go in a little place and then you send and want to kill everybody where you come from. Because remember, you know, if people in your place hate you, you ban and go in a place, everything people hate you, so can you imagine? You know, them that kill you for you a little bit. Your mother gonna work, your father gonna work. They most buck you wanna work, could have been your little neck. But if you grow up for turn a man in your place, somebody you can't think the whole place hate you. And then you go have foreign and send back gun. Instead of you do something and uplift the place and open a skid center then and do something and una do shit too, you know. Una do shit. But majority of the shit was going with the politician and the police. Soldiers don't get escape, you know, because I remember when involved in enough crime and activities, you know. Yeah, man. Even though when you see them try a gang, do you hear police and soldiers name a call? Yeah, man. Criminal them, man. Criminal in them, man.
As outlined in our recently published Strategic Defense Review, the expansion of our PMV fleet is a key element of our capability development efforts.
Key element.
The fleet of PMVs will improve our flexibility of the land forces as they conduct operational activities across the island.
Of the capability of them conduct. Go conduct in the next place when you see what we're going. Yeah, conduct. Actually, police are the police in. I just threw them now, no manners and all kind of little thing. And soldiers not supposed to do there and a fire and a shot for nobody. I don't believe in it. You can't have, no, this is a foolishness. You see what I say? But you still forget attacked by 8 we can't manage. And by the way, you have some soldiers, some big boys. We for them name call them have things from the seas too, you know. Yeah, man. Some big boy. I want to know on yourself, you know, because things I want to know, no. When I feel I want to know about, you know. When I get position, think we don't know about, you know. When I make a sad mistake. Yeah, man.
While the vehicles have proven to be a critical force multiplier in internal security operations, they are also critical to other land operations, such as search and rescue in post-disaster situations or other scenarios.
Yeah, there.
The PMVs are a key...
They are going like a fine in Private Ryan where you want name. Yeah? Search and rescue in a certain situation and them thing there. Yeah? If them not search and rescue nobody right now, them troop, or them are search and rescue, you get them vehicles so you use the search and rescue now. Eh?
Component of the JDF's commitment to being fit for purpose
Yeah,
now and in the future.
So
In addition to playing a role in the movement of troops, the enhanced protection provides a unique capacity which is necessary for our contingency plans in the event of major security incidents of various types. Their commission into service brings the force closer to the build-out of our mechanized infantry battalion. The 3 ambulance variants provide a new critical capability for Jamaica and the JDF.
Or for Jamaica and JDF, I use it. What critical capability, I do this so when I them I use it. Eh? For the JDF, let me hear how the ambulance set up.
They are built to accommodate casualties in different configurations up to a maximum of 5.
So them can hold 5 casualties. You know, say I want that. Who them are with in Jamaica? So them as a soldier get both you know, soldier getting both this casualty. Casualty have 5. So 3 of them can hold 15. Eh? and well comfortable and them have everything, but the population don't have an ambulance. Eh? Yeah.
Accompanied by medical personnel, a driver, and a co-driver. The introduction of this ambulance variant is critical to ensure that whenever necessary, we are able to safely and effectively transport not only our troops, but other personnel from a hostile environment to a safe, secure space where additional medical treatment can be appropriately administered.
I shall say not only our troops, I tell you say our troops, and maybe the police them, but you as a civilian, them not transport you. Me name not ask. Eh? Hear this.
For context, in 2021, the JDF had a total of 44,109 deployment in the land domain.
44,000 in the land domain deployment in Jamaica. But you're still 2021, but look on the murder figure same way. You understand? Them they even start no use neither, but me I say them I use soldier, I deploy them and we are burn up a bag of money. 40,000 deployment. They matter about deploy, you know when we use a soldier on deployment, we know them gonna Iraq and them gonna Afghanistan and them gonna somewhere else, you know, them deploy gone somewhere. They matter about deployment when you look at I know where but I don't know the country. Or somewhere over in Kingston and St. Andrew. Deployment.
That amounted to, counting each person, 2.9 million man-hours.
Yeah.
Year to date, we are at 7,764 deployments. Today,
the year just start. 7,000 at deployment they make already.
As the JDF continues to expand its geographical footprint across the country,
yeah,
it is also
she does tell me them put them geological footprint across the country.
essential that all our troops are provided with a high standard of protection as they undertake their duties in support of the JCF.
In support of
While
JCF.
we carry out our duties to the citizens of Jamaica, we must ensure that the men and women of the JDF can work safely under all conditions. The PMVs, therefore, are a critical component of the force's capacity to uphold this duty to our soldiers and the citizens of Jamaica.
You know, so this, I'm going to cut them off, so you know why? Play them more. That don't make no sense. You know why? Them not have it, but them operate same way without it. Don't. I hear much thing and you still not see nothing where them say the ambulances, we not see them need it. The public need it more than anything else. See? So even if them need it, them could have buy something cheaper one and them thing there. Me not see nothing go on where you say a bag of soldier get wounded. And after things, my friend went up and down in a them kind of ambulance there. Them kind of harm out ambulance and one can carry 5 and them thing there. Them just get this for the first time. But them a make big speech, it don't make no sense. See? And if you make 40,000 in a last year deployment and 7,000 already, see? And you never need it, not in none of them. I don't think you need them now. Buy some simple ambulances, cheaper. Them should have tell you how much money them spend on this. Now play no more it. See? No man, we can't play no more of this. This is a foolishness. That's a foolishness. You see me I say? That's a photo up and waste of money. Yeah, I have to tell them the truth. See? Me hear where Lisa say boy, yes. Me hear that woman.
Bit of a crawl, and while many countries be known for. What will be our legacy? When this term ends, what will we all be known for? What will be our legacy? Will it be based on the number of food packages we gave out, how many funerals we attended, or better yet, how many bags of fertilizer we give our farmers? The role of MPs to Jamaican people is as clear as mud, and it is time we define what ought to be our purpose. Madam Speaker, we are no longer respected by the people, and this is obvious by the way we are spoken to or spoken about.
Of course.
There isn't much reverence to the positions and
yeah, because too much politicians don't do yeah, I tell you says that Edward Morgan House, too much criminal. So if it talk them respected, we don't respect the people. Them don't respect them respect the people of Jamaica. Them a work for the people of Jamaica and go like them a boss. We are telling them to stop it. Them a bring dictatorship to us. And we don't like it. You see me, I say, no man, but for what
anymore, as we are often branded about as just another corrupt one coming to take something from the system.
Of course.
As we approach 2022, which marks our 60th year of independence from Great Britain, both the PNP and the JLP have had almost a 50-50 year split at the helm of running this country.
True.
The PNP 31 years and the JLP at the end of this term 29 years. So there's enough blame if we want to pass around. It's time to press reset, Madam Speaker. Time for us to look.
That's right, you know, them did a reset. But them not in a reset, them still aligned in pocket right now. Because some member of parliament were supposed to move long time. But people if you know when I vote for you know, if you stop that foolishness there, you know. Because I see them vote now, I see them out, say them want somebody to move in a center, and then why you vote for the person. You can't just make somebody just put in where they want to put in, or put in somebody data, and then you vote and you don't get no handout. Then you ask a person for a move. When you go sit down on the face, man, because you don't have no sense. They start walk on the butt and sit down on the face. You understand? Yeah, man. You understand? Maybe when you gain some sense. You can't, you're not sensible. You know just you don't go vote because of vote's sake. You don't do that. You have to know about the people, them, man. You know them CV, man. Serious.
Seriously. Time for us to look seriously at the legislative agenda. Time for us to move away from doing what is popular to doing what is right.
That's true. Do what is right.
Our legislative agenda has been at a bit of a crawl, and while many countries have modernized so much of how they do things since the pandemic, the most we can really do and have been able to do is extend our care stimulus package and pass some legislation, while important, really has not redounded to the best interests of the bread and butter issue and everyday living conditions of the people of my constituency and others. Again, what will we be known for? It's time to look seriously at women's health rights. It's time to move on to the republic status we've promised our people for so long. It's time to provide water to our people and move away from the pale pan culture.
Can you imagine 2021, the matter, this I got 2022 now. We're 2022 now. And yes, still most of the place they have no water, you have no pipe. And you still have vision for people to catch water from. And in some country, people just go use river water and set up them own thing. And they matter they say, in the next 7 years and 10 months, we're going to turn first world country. 2030 vision. 7 years and 10 months, that you know. Yeah, man. You see me I say? That don't make no sense. Yeah?
In rural constituencies. It's time to critically assess how we've been educating our children to compete in a global world amid the pandemic. It's time to reform our prison system and look at punishments ascribed to certain crimes and institute more laws to protect our people. It's time we reform our Sexual Offences Act to grant public access to the sexual offenders list.
Yeah, man.
It's time to pass the National Assistance Bill to replace the old Poor Relief Act of 1886. It's time we be proactive and give personal tax credits, incentives and subsidies to Jamaicans to protect our environment with less CO2 emissions. It's time to replace the old Burial and Cremation Act of 1963 with modern funeral home regulations to ensure that consumers at all levels are protected while getting value for money, Madam Speaker. It's time to raise the minimum wage to a livable.
Them ways it. And you just said can't work. A livable thing. I said not under 100 US. And you shouldn't even 150 US. 150 US. You shouldn't get nothing less than like 23,000. But even if you start from 16,000, where them rated from 7,400, where you gone to 9,000. So you put like $10 on it for the week, for the whole week, like $2 per day for 5 years. Yeah, $2 per day. It's like $10 that. You got 160,000. Just run it off like $10. See, you can around 158 feet and nearly 160. So you just run it off. See? See? So you get a $2. And you think that good? Can't good. Remember everything going up and everything I go up again. Continue going up. And the next thing was to some of the taxi man them to see. When them say $2 per liter of gas. Remember, you know, you carry somebody up there, son, one person you carry, you know. So when you how much mile I get on a gas queue? How much mile 4 liter gas queue? 3 pint at like 4 liter gas. How much mile I get? Because if you buy that for 8, where you would make one trip. If somebody get 150 and you pay nearly 200, 2 person get more than a liter of gas already, you know. And if you have 4 in the car, they might give more than so much liter of gas that. So if they might pay $150. And then in the country, then you know what, I'm going to charge more money. Stop going like you don't want to kill off the poor people, them, man. Talk government and stop to push up things on the people, them. We not work and we not know. No sense, man. Senseless, man.
Wage for all Jamaicans to be able to eat and take care of themselves and their families. It's time to break the monopolies that create high electricity bills. It's time we debate the motion I tabled here in February for the methods of achieving a fundamental mindset shift to structurally transform Jamaica's economy into an internationally competitive, value-added export country and products and services that we have a global competitive advantage in. Yes, Madam Speaker, it's time to be courageous in our legislative decisions and step away from the Santa Claus status we have taken on. Prime Minister, we are the same generation. It's time for you to be courageous. Madam Speaker, I believe my time has ended, but I put the question to all of us again, and to you. At the end of this term, what will we all be known for? What will be our legacy in this Parliament? Winning elections is generally forgotten. It's time to give Jamaicans hope in the life they can live in their country of their own birth. It's time for us to leave our footprint rather than doing the temporary assignments that will, in the end, the tides will wash away. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
All right. So Gordon, you see, minimum wage, you know, is a barrier because you have some people now want to pay that neither. See? But the Prime Minister come here, can't back private sector. So we do that now. If him as a government, it's good for a minimum wage, man. If him as a government come in and say you can't put minimum wage and say $9,000. Can you have a bus up $9,000 now in a 5? You have 5 days, you know. You see me I say? If a $10,000, you know, say you get $2,000 a day. And that can't do nothing. You get less than $10, you get less than $15 a day for the day. When some people are work $15 per hour. Can you remember it'll be for you get $15, that'll be 2,250. I nearly 2,260. Can you remember again and 150 again? See? For 155 or 158 or somewhere going it up. See? You understand? So you see, you know get like even at $20, them get $20 then. You know, if them give even $20, see? You get $100 per week, you know, so it'll come to like 15. You see me I say you shouldn't get nothing less than that. Because for the end of the day, you have some big company, them export them little thing and them do them little thing there, you know. You understand? But for bonnet, you can't, and then the way to do it secure you that a man will come get nothing less than that. So I just the government for putting that and say you can't pay a man less than $20,000. You see me I say you can't do this. See? Yeah, man, you can't pay them less than this. How much money you pay them per hour? Per hour you have to deal with minimum wage, you know. So you say overseas them work for $12 and $15 an hour, right? We look at country, $5 an hour. We no business. It's a better way for you. You see me I say if you work $5 an hour, how much that you work for the day? 8 hours you work, you know, and you have to get paid for your overtime, you know. So if you get $5 an hour, how much you work for the day? If you work $40 a day, you could have gone. You understand? See, say you get a $200, you get a $200. So you know, say $200 like 30 grand for the. You see me I say? So even if them give that, even 5 years, that's small, you know. But by the way, even the people in the call center, you shouldn't give them less than 5 because they might get like around 12 or near 15. And them carry call center Jamaica and they might get it in a US them paid and they might give the people them like $1 per hour. That's sinful. Them around $1 them I get. See? And then you tell the boy if you leave from university, you can step up. That's a foolishness. See? Yeah, man, foolishness. Hear this now. Hear this now. We just start to know. We have some big thing for us. I want to talk about some things on seafood and things. We have that for us. I want to talk about some of that killing we're going in doing the pen with Dave and, you know, saying big up some people on St. Thomas, you know, for what's that, big up some people, you know, so we have the whole of St. Thomas can big up. The whole of St. Thomas. So, you know, when I talk about that now, I just big up some people. Saying, yeah, man, because I run good in a DF thing and they hear who involved and all kind of like things and what go on and, you know, with the police, them go on with an oversight, them do it because with them do it and you can't do this. And who round them mash up who and, you know, saying, and it go to, you know, down a bull beer. It got straight back down in a bull beer. So much soon intertwine from down there, so just straight up in a St. Thomas, you know. Seeing, I always say going to seafood and all over the place. So, you know, I soon got to talk about that too. See? And next thing I want to know, you see, yes, I show about the virgin about them old, the big man there. I have something else to talk about them people there, you know. Who them are work with and some of the good things, but I have it here, I talk about it in our next thing, you know. Saying, coming not done with them yet, you know, we're clean up St. Thomas now, you know, we're clean up St. Thomas. So the man will claim him the big man, too much of that foolishness. The people them don't like you, you know. No. You can't be a big, say a top cup and make people hate to some man. Don't do it, man. Saying, and people don't like your squad neither. When you pressure the youth them too much and pressure people too much, you know. Everybody I call on the name, yeah? Everybody. Turn those people from in the station, police not like them. Can I try to pressure them too? See? But the people them overall in a St. Thomas not like them. You see we push out some name? You know, say when me attack, me not go around corner. See? Some things I wanna do. Remember, you know, I wanna do it to people. I wanna do it to people family. So you know, say it out. I know so we have it, I know so I fling it out. It's only because I some more about you know. Because them when you come out of the force, when you leave the force, I want to forget charge too. Yeah, because we don't like when you know you can't have criminal infiltrate the force and you allow them. See? We not play with them, you know. I'm gonna play alone, son. I'm gonna play that alone, son. Can we soon come back, we soon sign on back, but you know, go talk, me attack. Daniel, big up yourself in a fire. Yeah, $15. That me I say even if we say which if them get, you know, Jamaica, give them $5 then. Like all the call center and they give them $5 per hour. See? Them want to give you less than $15 per day. For the whole day, they might give less than that. See? It's bad, man. That bad. All right, let me run this. Hear this. Play that long song.
We don't want to hear some bad lyrics, come check my man. Yeah, man, alone, some of the veteran. Yeah, me Chris. Hear this, hear this, hear this. Let me tell you this. When I talk nothing without meaning, you know. Alone some this, me Chris. Who me? A lyrical specialist when I listen Gugu Yaga. Leave that to some baby, yes, some Gugu Gaga. And guy where you drink from walk and not come in just that Judas, my bastard, my wife, and this straight beauty and glamour. No guy can walk to name me with no dagger. Maybe the heart of Mandela, but the mind of a summer in the mold like a bull man. We send us the jammer. Lyrically inclined, be a metaphor, so no listen to lyrics line to line. Become a lyrical fighter, put up in the rhythm, they load some boy all in a hater. Lyrically inclined, be a metaphor, so no listen to lyrics line to line. Become a lyrical fighter, put up in the rhythm. deal on some boy only night original 40 said no we not take rough up the crop from the other day them face them out tough up like the 3 little pig and the old fire off up if them flip like a fool and leave them get crushed up better shut your beat no speak you better usher street furniture everything's I get dust up limbs and shove things I get brush up when you see original Eastman you must not fuck away. Lyrically inclined, be a metaphor, so no listen to lyrics line to line. Because we lyrical fatal, put up in the beginning, the lonesome boy, all in a hater. Lyrically inclined, be a metaphor, so no listen to lyrics line to line. Because we lyrical fatal, put up in the beginning, the lonesome boy, all in a hater. Original 40 say no, we not take telling, send message to who we not care about, sending troublemaker in a school that. That's why we expend him if we send I start to come circle we dwelling I start come same way them get shelling evidence get up and those creatures compelling posing like a big tree we use ballads and selling when you see original 40s you should know mail him cause we lyrically inclined be a metaphor so no listen to lyrics line to line because we lyrical theater put up in everything the lonesome boy all in a hater. Lyrically inclined, be a metaphor, so no listen to lyrics line to line. Because we lyrical theater, put up any rhythm, the lonesome boy all in a hater. Lyrically specialist, when I listen to Yaga. To some baby, yes, some boo gaga. And guy where you drink and walk and a stacker. We not just, not a Judas, them a backstabber. I'm my wife, anti straight beauty and glamour. No guy can't walk to near me with the dagger. Make the heart of Mandela, but the mind of us man in the mold. Like a bull man, send a jam away. Lyrically inclined, be a metaphor, so no listen to lyrics line to line. Because we lyrical theater, put up in everything. The lonesome boy all in a hater.
Easy daddy, easy daddy, easy daddy, step daddy. You know play on them man. Yeah man, original East man, yes man. Yes man. Straight man. I'm gonna take telling you know. Yeah man. You see? I'm chatting at some metaphors, you know. If them understand, you know. You see? Yeah, man. So as me I say, yeah, man, up, man. East side, up, 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 farm. Yeah, man. Yes, I. See? And let me tell you this, man. Some things are going to St. Thomas, but I expose one of that, you know. Can I do one of up there around? You can't be police and be criminal at the same time and antagonize everybody and them things. We're not behave on yourself. We don't have foolishness. And you have some businessman are going with some foolishness, so you have to stop it too. You have to go run way. Yeah, man. You see me I say? Yeah, man, you have to run way, man. We know another business, we know that, we know nothing at all with them with the bag of foolishness. See? Let me look for something named Bonnie before me. But me run here there, you know. I say me can't find round here. Round here, all right. Round here this. I say me can't find round here. Hold on there. More go round here.
Hear this. I say good life and clean living. See, you know? See, too much nastiness going on here. Need to get clean up and I swear. Round here. Family more as we want round here. Envy and greed, we don't need round here. Opportunity that we want round here. Nasty living, we don't need round here. You know what we're round here. Family more as we want round here. Envy and greed, we don't need round here. Opportunity that we want round here. Nasty living, we don't need round here. And I swear, no corrupt talk, we know what round here. Corrupt politician can't come round here. Can't come round here. Peter Wenger put them foot round here. You say look somewhere now me a chat sincere. Woman nowadays that just a mirror to dear. Enough time make girl that sit in the face like cheer. Dance full of pasta, you know them not care. Round here. Family moral we want round here. Envy and greed we don't need round here. Opportunity that we want round here. Nasty living we don't need round here. You don't swear, so round here. Family morals we want some serious. I don't make joke. Corrupted politician can't get me vote. Pay criminality, no for them and support. To the feds, you are screaming, I'll forget next month. Shoot me a chance, who don't listen me start. That the killing and no revenge war. Africa, them because they know who they are. We are no criminal, no friends, kill and a bar around here. Family moral, we want round here. Envy and greed, we don't need round here. Opportunity that we want round here. Nasty living, we don't need round here. The loan smear, yeah, round here. Family moral, we want round here. Envy and greed, we don't need round here. Opportunity that we want round here. Nasty living, we don't need round here. The loan smear, yeah. When you hear me talk, you know me mean when me say. No rapper boy, they cannot come around yet. Scammer boy, I get them cannot come around yet. When the police, you know me run that way. Can me no get away, nobody wants say. The world knows say they don't want some people play. Society for them apart and the youth them astray. We have to teach them right and show them real love around here. Family moral, they want round here. Envy and greed, we don't need round here. Opportunity that we want round here. Nasty living, we don't need round here. And I swear, yo, so round here. Family moral, we want round here. Envy and greed, we don't need round here. Opportunity that we need round here. Lord swear, yo.
Oh. Go on here. Yeah, talk about, man. Go on here. We don't need, hey, let me tell you this. Certain thing we don't need round here. And we're talking straight, man. You see me as around here, we keep it real around here. No friend killers around here. We are not friend killers in our power around here neither. Seeing? I'm not corrupted cop in our power with them. I'm not corrupted politician. And guy will walk and come on here. I'm not pedophile can't put them foot around here. See? So you need to learn somewhere in my chat sincere, you know. And some woman nowadays address as there as them there. And some guy make get a sitting in them face like cheer. And dance all for the porn star. You know they don't care. Around here. Family morals more around here. Envy and greed we don't need around here. Opportunity that we want around here. None nasty living we don't need around here. Lord swear. See? Yeah man, yes man. Yeah man. See? That's you man. The same way man. I said going on. Yeah man. Look back one son sitting. We don't move man. We there see me man. I said, come on. Remember when I eat certain things and, you know, mash up myself and then thing there, you know. I remember we just keep it real, you know. Keep it right there, you know. You learn so up. See? So, yeah. Hey, as we said, for all the Prime Minister, for all the government to account. Andrew, everything what you say, you use against the government at the time. Remember, you were in opposition at the time. So, you know, we expect you to do better. We have to use the same your one word. We have to use it and hold it to account. We can't let it go after them, man. You see me? I said, no. You have to lead by example. Well, I lead by example. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So we have to hold it to account. See? And like you come and say you're born, you know, one bedroom house and with a great grandmother and parent, and then you come and say you're born in a 2-bedroom. Same yard, but with your mother and your father now, and your mother sending you for a salary, fair salary. As a civil servant, I think, or something. We have it to go play back again. So I remind you all these things. Don't come back. Don't tell nobody lie. Don't wait. And if the people them not listen, but me is a keen listener, you know. So if you say one thing and you go on this and say something, you think me not hear you? Me hear you, man. I mean, like ask some question when you see me start asking and I look so. You make some blunders and you know some blunders and me I listen. I mean I might not say no, but me I say something. Yeah, man, I just hard it up and investigate up my thing and then I come show you. These are the things where local media should have hold our representative them to account to. Them come and say something yes and something you matches and them question about it. And then maybe you get some face to answer like where the health minister or my private life, no, you're probably listen, you're health minister. When you come out of that and go back to your private life is a different thing. See, remember the health minister, you know. But let me show you something. You see, you want a better come Jamaica, right? He is a health minister, any minister, where the kids them at school, you know, you know, you have the education ministry. So you know, one with no concubine and I live some little life for your set. We are set. We are telling you them to do. Remember, we have STD and all kind of things in there. So we are telling people them to do. When people look up on you and say, boy, a girl is start, I'm more to be like this. Saying, I hear the man, you think them thing they right, sir? It can't right. If you have a wife, you have a wife. You divorce her, if you want to start a new life, you start a new life. But you don't do that. You don't live them kind of way. Then you want to live concubine life and nobody must say nothing to you either. And I say, you do the thing, man. Stop it, man. Don't live certain way around here. A big man but talk the truth. Burn them lonesome. They are not keep them real here. And the media not keep them reading, but me I keep them reading. Man, burn them on here. Data. Me up here. Bless.